Hi, I'm Natalie and welcome back to my channel, Sew, Stitch, Sew, Nat. Thought this get easier on the second go, but this is my fourth take at an introduction, so here goes. I thought I'd do the tag Get to Know Your Needleworker today, and then sort of move on to a regular sort of Flosstube content. Hopefully the lighting's a bit better today. So I'll just dig in. So question 1, where do you live? I live not too far from Coventry in the UK. You may guess from some of the answers to the questions about how much I want to share of my personal details, so I'll try and keep some of the detail out. What do I do for a living? I'm an accountant for a small company doing their business books. Question 3, do you have children? Yes, I have 2 boys aged 6 and 9, and they're lovely, but they're a handful, so yeah. Do you have pets? I don't have any pets. If I wanted to get a pet, it would probably be a dog, but the other half's not too keen. Kids would love one, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. Question 5. Sorry, I keep looking down. Do I have any hobbies besides stitching? I think you've seen I've made a few project bags. Also, I was given a knitting kit last Christmas, not the Christmas just gone, the one before, which I sat down to try and do over Christmas, and found it a little bit challenging because of the yarn that was included. I have actually bought some more, but I haven't done anything with it yet, so maybe in the future. I was also given a diamond painting kit for Christmas because I thought I'd like to have a go at that, but I haven't actually started it yet. Question 6, favourite movie? I like Pretty Woman, Dirty Dancing, was deeply engrossed in The Greatest Showman but haven't watched it recently. We tend to watch like a lot of Marvel and DC films, not so much DC, more Marvel films. Males has suddenly declared that he wants to watch all the Star Wars in order, and that's order is in 1, 2, 3, 4, not 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars, but I'll watch it if they're watching it, just to be included as part of the family, because everyone else likes Star Wars. Question 7, favourite TV show? So I like Friends. I think I mentioned last time I like Charmed. I say recently, Steel City Stitches got me into Gilmore Girls. Binge watched the whole of that, and now thinking I might watch that again. Also thinking about watching Friends again, but I seem to be watching a lot of Flosstube at the minute when I get 5 minutes to myself. Where me and the other half are rewatching Dawson's Creek. We used to watch it when it was on originally, but never actually got to the final seasons. So it's nice to sort of go back and watch that with a different viewpoint, because we were slightly younger than what they were when we were watching it. So yeah, it's nice to sort of revisit that. And then I've been watching Cobra Kai. Binge watched the new season once we realised that it was out. Knew it was coming but didn't realise it was out. So yeah, we've watched all of that now. And Grey's Anatomy, not up to date with that one, but yeah, definitely like watching that. We also started watching Private Practice, which is a spin-off, and Chicago 19 I think it is. Yeah, completely like those, so yeah, we watched them. Question 8, favourite book? I was reading Kathy Kelly for quite a while, and then kids came along. I haven't read in quite some time. I think the last book I read was a couple of years ago on holiday, and although I was into it at the time, I could not tell you what it was called now. I think with my free time it tends to be stitching and Flosstube when I get the chance. So yeah, like I said, I'd like to have a go a few other crafts, but mainly stitching at the minute, and sewing if I get the chance as well. Favourite music, and this kind of depends on what mood I'm in, because I can go from Kylie and Adele over to Linkin Park, Bowling for Soup, and then back to Fleetwood Mac, so it really depends what mood I'm in. Know some of the newer songs, but yeah, I tend to be a bit more 80s, 90s, noughties. So yeah. Question 10. What word best describes me? I would say kind, but I know some of my work colleagues would say organised. I'm definitely not organised. I think I come across as organised, but I'm not. So yeah. In terms of sort of when I started stitching, I was in kindergarten, primary school basically. We were given a task to do a Christmas tree on like probably 11 count Ada, which is actually in my dad's house. I've not got it with me, and I liked it then, and then later on I picked it up again. I want to say around the age of 12, 13 ish, and did odd bits and pieces. I'll dig it out and show you one of my early pieces, but it was like a Punch and Judy card, way out of my league at that particular point, and you'll see why when you see it, because it's not on Ada, and it's quite a fine fabric as well. So I didn't finish that in one go. I sort of dropped it and came back to it. I can't remember what the next project was after that, but I've done various different pieces over the years, ranging from, like I say, Ickle Bear, over to I've done Paddington Bear. I'm trying to think what else I've done, like big sampler type things, but not like Bristol samplers, those kind of ones, more like modern day samplers. And you'll see some of the caterpillar cross stitch, which is how I ended up getting back into cross stitch. You know, it was yeah, it would have been sort of the summer of 2020 I started really getting back into it, and did a caterpillar cross stitch. I don't think it was a sew along at that point. I think I did Seize the Day first, and then the one with the cakes, I can't remember what it's called. If I've got my video editing skills up to speed, I'll show you a picture. So yeah, that's how I got back in, and then discovered, I think I was on like a live with Sally at Caterpillar Cross Stitch, just one of her Friday night ones that she was doing, and she mentioned Flosstube. I'm like, what's that? And then I think she mentioned two Martini stitcher, Erin, so I trundled over and went, ooh, I like this, and then it went from there. And if you've seen Erin's Whip Parade, it's a bit of an epic one, but she's got some gorgeous stuff in there. I know she's taken a break from social media, which I understand, but yeah, I'd love to see you back on the screen. I thought I would show a couple of finishes from the past. I'll insert the pictures hopefully here. So this first stocking was done for my eldest. Obviously I've covered up the name, but yeah, love stitching it, love the colours, and then along came number 2, so stocking number 2. Hadn't realised that they were different ways. So one goes one way and one goes the other. I did recently finish a stocking for myself. I can't remember which way around that one is. What I will say on the stockings is the finishing isn't great, so I'm not sure if I might try and take them apart to stitch them back together in a better way. But that's a project for next few months before Christmas comes around again, because it will come around very quickly, I know. Feels like only yesterday, but I know it will be only tomorrow by the time I get around to it. So in terms of recent finishes, I thought I'd show you my cafe mocha, which was actually, it's a Mill Hill kit, and that was finished on New Year's Day. Didn't quite get it in on New Year's Eve, but just love the colours. One thing I will say is I did use a slightly different colour brown to what was suggested when I did the beads on here, but you really can't tell, and it's just for me anyway. But corrected it over here. I'm not going to take it out, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then my next one, which is a finish for now, or FFN. I think Bendy started using that. And that is the Lakeside Needlecrafts Stitch Along Crystallised Cell, and part 1 was released on the 2nd of January. So that's my finish for now on that. Love the colours, couldn't put it down. And that's stitched for with Cold 4 DMC, but it's on a Fabric Fair Even Weave 25 count stone cloud, so it's got some mottling in there. So looking forward to the next part of that. And the colours for this are just gorgeous. I've actually put them on Flosstubers for this one. So you see you've got all the blues over here, purples, oranges. Red seems to be my favourite colour. Right. Next finish. I don't normally get this much stitching done, it's just because Christmas basically. I've had a 2-week break, which is nice. Normally I end up working between Christmas and New Year, but this is the first year I haven't. So this one's another stitch along, and this is now finished. So the last part we had to do was the peppermint cocoa. Yeah, love stitching all of this. I haven't put my initials or date in anywhere yet, but I plan to before I finish this. Not sure how I'm going to finish it as yet. And the other thing, just to show that nothing is normally stitched as planned for some reason. On this side, this one is half a stitch this way. I don't think it's going to make much difference if I go to put it in a picture frame, because it is literally half a stitch, and then I've had to sort of jiggery pokery that one just to make it sort of fit in. Unfortunately, luckily it was half a stitch out rather than half a stitch in, so it made it a bit easier just to tie it all in together. So yeah, that's now finished, and that's available from Frosted Pumpkin. I think you can get it as a PDF. And then it's all called for DMC. I did switch to fabric, which is a Fabric Fair again, mushroom this time. It's a 28 count. Yeah, colourful Mill Hill beads. So yeah, and then a new start I had before Christmas that I wasn't planning, also got finished in between Christmas and New Year because I could not put it down. It's the Autumn Lane Stitchery Santa's Coming to Town. So they gave us 2 options. So you could either do snowflakes up here, or you could do Santa in his sleigh, and along here you had the empty sleigh, or you could put some more, I think it's more snowflakes in. And I said to my eldest, oh, which one do you think? And he made a good suggestion, so I went with that. I've seen somebody else do this as well. So I've put the snowflakes in at the top, but I've actually done the sleigh in the colours suggested where the snowflakes would have been. And this is on the using the Call 4 DMC, but I switched the fabric to a 14 count navy Ada that I just had in my stash. It was sitting there not doing anything, so and it's a lovely soft Ada. I think I might have got it from, if anyone remembers, Sewmesarah here in the UK. That's since closed down. So yeah, possibly looking at finishing that into a pillow, but I'm not sure. I've not done a pillow finish before, so it'd be interesting to see how that turns out. Next, kind of moving into whips, but I thought I would show you the other La Finestra del Tempo finishes that I've had. Yes, January, still not FFO'd, sorry. I haven't got the right fabric to do like a flat finish. I've got the easel, so yeah, I just need to find the right fabric. So that is January. Oops. And that is February. March and April. Now the only thing I've not done in Call 4 is that April. I think I've used one colourway, a slight colourway away. I didn't have it, didn't want to order anything else at the time, so just chose to change it. And this is on a, it says Y-Gart 32 count in taupe. The stitch along is still full speed ahead, and I'll show you my next piece. And the idea was to start January in July so that you could FFO it before it got to January. Yeah, I was struggling with how I wanted to finish it, and then I decided how I wanted to finish it and didn't have the right fabric for it. I've got some fabric but not a big stash, so yeah, time to try and get out when it's a bit safer. COVID numbers are high here in the UK, but I've had my vaccine and my booster, so I should be okay, but still a little bit apprehensive. But here's May. And here is going up to on June. So I was stitching this last night. So yeah, so June will come across the top, and then the numbers. Picture. Now my ruler is releasing gorgeous patterns at the minute. I was tempted by the Christmas Advent. She's got other ones that she's just released as well. So yeah, she's on Etsy. Download. What happens if you buy the PDF, and then she'll send it to you. And for copyright purposes, she puts your name and address across the chart. And I completely understand that. So it's not an instant download, but she's quite responsive when you do buy from her. I'll put the hashtag below for that if you're on Instagram. I did do a bit more work on the Labradors in terms of the back stitching, but I've not got it to show you at the minute. It was a little bit around the face, which is hard to be picked up on camera. I'm trying to get the fiddlier bits done before I go and do the outside of the dogs, because I think that'll be really quick. But in terms of like their little facial features and their little claws, that's the bit that's taking the time, and it's one brown on top of another brown, so sometimes it's a little bit hard to see some of the detail that's in there. But I know it'll look gorgeous when it's finished. So my final whip that I worked on since you last saw it was the Sampler 15, and I've actually put the word top up here now, because as I'm coming round it's getting harder to know which way's up. So yeah, just a bit more work down the bottom. As I say, that's 2x2 stitch art on Etsy. The patterns aren't named on the Etsy site, I don't think, but there's lots to choose from. Mainly monochromatic. I think it's just some with like 2 colours, maybe 3 max, but lots to choose from. So next is my new starts. So I've got 2 new starts. I finished one Mill Hill and immediately wanted to pick up another Mill Hill. So I chose, I've had this in my stash for a little while, Love Stitching. I had to stop myself, otherwise it would have been finished in a flash. Let me just take that bit off. So here's where I'm at with that, and that's just using all the called for. I was going to leave the bead until the end, but realised that if I didn't put some of this beading in, I wouldn't know where I was, especially the cream on cream. So I went ahead and put that on, and this uses various numbers of strands, so you go from 2 to 3, and then you've got the beads to go on as well. And this is a full kit. I can't remember, it was from Amazon or somewhere else. I think sometimes they're a little bit overpriced on Amazon, so just be careful of that if you do want them. I have just recently found a new website. I've not tried to order from there yet, but they've got lots of Mill Hill kits, which is Hawkins Hobbies. The other Mill Hill kit that I've got in my stash at the minute is Jingle, which might have been from Lakeside Needlecrafts here in the UK, but it's a full kit, so it's got all the beads and things. So that'll be my next start after I finish Love Sewing. I've definitely been eyeing up some other Mill Hill kits in the meantime. And in terms of how I store the beads and needles, my sons did get into hammer beads, and we did get some of the mini hammer beads, so I got some storage for them, but they've since long gone. So I now just keep, when I'm doing a project, the beads in here. Long term wise, I haven't got a plan at the minute. I've just got like a little wooden box that's got them in, like bagged and labelled, should I say. The other thing I just wanted to talk about was these bead smith mats. They can be quite handy, and the other thing is when you've got a vinyl fronted bag, it'll just stick onto that, so you can just lay it on top of your project bag if you like as well. I know Tacky Bob or Tacky Bill are about as well. I'm not sure if Lakeside might have some of them. I've seen them about recently. Not tried one of those, but the beadsmith seems to work for me. If it's only just a couple of beads, I'll literally just get it out of the pot. I don't always tip it out, but definitely when I was finishing Cafe Mocha and the Frosted Pumpkin, Cozy Cafes, I did do like put them on the mat and then pick them up as I went along. My New Year, New Start, I'm sure you'll all be familiar with this, is the Blackbird Designs What Remains. I'm actually stitching this in honour of my mum, and she passed 30 odd years ago now, and it's true, what remains is love. We didn't always have the best relationship. I was, you know, 12, 13 at the time, and you know what you're like at that age. But yeah, definitely what remains is love. Toying with the idea of tweaking it slightly, but I'm not sure yet. But definitely want to put the initials down here. Now I only worked on this one day, and I got everything from digital stitches, so the fabric and the silks. I'll show you where I got to. So you'll see I've done part of the flower and part of the house. Well, the front door, essentially. Really like stitching it, but at the same time I don't want to race through it. I want to have something to sort of have happy memories and think about her when I'm doing it. So I'm sort of going slow and steady with that one. It is my first Blackbird Designs, first time stitching with silk. I can say I'm quite enjoying it actually. The other first is, it's on I think it's 35 count weeks fabric, which I've not used before, not stitched on 35 count before. I have got a piece of Fox and Rabbit 36 count, which I'm going to do Ruskin's Penguins on, but that's just sat in the kitted pile at the minute rather than an active rip. And the light is starting to do something a little bit weird, so I apologise, my face is half covered in darkness. The other half is offered to help me sort out my lighting. I'm not a big fan of having bright lights in my face, so trying to use natural light, but it's not really working right now. I recently saw EmmaXStitching's new Flosstube. I can't remember what number that is. She mentioned the caterpillar cross stitch, doing a sale on that in April. If I find a picture I'll put it here. But I bought this back in 2020 as a PDF. So yeah. So she's thinking about starting that in April, so I'm going to start kitting it up. It's all DMC, just not sure on the fabric yet. She's got it on a blue fabric. Don't think she mentions what it is. I'll probably do it on either an even weave or a linen, but yeah, looking forward to doing that. Next plan is actually a temperature chart, and I can't remember if someone else showed this on their Flosstube. It's by the Stitching Mummy. You can get this on Etsy. Sorry, I'm enabling everybody again. So that's what it looks like, and I've pulled out a 14 count white Ada for this. I switch between Ada and even weave I've done one piece on linen which I might show next time. It's been on my Instagram though. So yeah, I haven't pulled the threads for that yet, but I'd be doing the varied, because she gives you I think 3 or 4 different temperature, typography, colourways. I got this a while ago. Wasn't sure I was going to stitch that or what remains, but chose what remains in the end. And my mother-in-law, who came for Christmas, was having a look through my charts and said she really liked it, so I'm actually going to stitch it for her. So this is Hicks Creates, and it's Meditation Garden. I keep calling it Tranquility Garden. I'm not sure if that's how she mentioned it on her Flosstube one time, and then I've picked it up from there. Now this is stitched on, I think it's a Picture This Plus with Miss Sadie's silks, but unfortunately I didn't have the budget for that, and I've never stitched on a Picture This Plus fabric either. So I pulled out all the DMC, but decided I did actually like some of the variegation. So I've actually recently just had an order from Lakeside Needlecrafts. Just trying to see one of the. I take it out the bag, so I put it in Floss Away bags. So I was going to sub 9006 with Paris Green from Weeks. It's strange, last night when I was doing it, it did look very much the same, but this is showing a lot lighter than the DMC at the minute. I might still change when I come around to stitching the bits, who knows. Yeah, and then Juniper by Weeks instead of DMC 500. This is quite interesting to do now it's daylight, but they are very similar, but it's got a slight bit of variegation in it. The one I didn't have was the DMC 991, but looking at it on the website I think it's probably a good match. So I'm using Kentucky Bluegrass, which is actually a lot bluer than I thought it was. It's like a bluey green, but not like a turquoise bluey green. Makes it just tend a little bit that way actually, sort of green to turquoisey dark green. I mean the description on the Miss Sadie's silks is aquamarine dark, so I think it fits that sort of description. The other one I changed was another green, but I haven't quite settled on which green I want to use. So it's DMC 16. I'm either going to use Weeks Absinthe or Chartreuse. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. But obviously they're quite a bit brighter. So we'll see. I might change as I go along. My next Lakeside Needlecrafts cotton, like DMC monthly and classic colourworks, is due to arrive this week. Post lady hasn't been yet. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then the fabric that I chose to put it on is a 25 count Lugana Zweigart in vintage sand dune. And if you're in the UK, I can definitely recommend Florashell, either direct on their own website. They're also on eBay and sometimes Amazon as well. But if you know what you're looking for, I'd sort of go to their website, and it's free shipping in the UK. So yeah, so I bought that. I did also slightly veering into haul. So yeah, I'm planning on using some sort of dividers to sort of break up the sections, so you might see that come up now. Right, in terms of other haul, also from Florashell, I just got like 18 count white Ada, which I seem to be using up. Some doesn't say what count it is, I can't remember, but just like some white band Ada and some red band Ada, and I have got a project in mind, possibly dinosaur bookmark, which is what my son's now requested, the youngest one again. I did recently stitch him like a lizard gecko, which I haven't got with me at the minute, and I haven't shown on Instagram, so maybe next time. And then this one, I'm thinking about making like a sack for the presents at Christmas. I haven't fully decided on that. I managed to get some fabric from Dunelm when we popped over there, which was half price, why not, but it was the sort of Scandi red and white fabric. Another thing I have to add as well, obviously this is Christmas, and I've spent more or less all my Christmas money, so yeah, I don't normally have this much haul in this short space of time. I wanted a needle minder with a thread drop on, and this is the only one I seem to have to find in the UK. So this is from Beaming Badger on Etsy. You see it's got like the 4 drops on there, and then it's just got a Dream Big on the back. I haven't used this yet, it literally just came yesterday, and I just so I'm looking forward to using it, possibly on my monochromatic piece. I've not got a needle minder on that, literally because I literally pull one thread and keep on stitching. Sometimes when I'm working on a project I'll have more than one needle on the go, especially if it's a lot of changes. Next was this is a PDF inspired by Tiger Lily Designs when she was doing her days advent calendar leading up to Christmas, and this is called Sewmesarah, and it was a PDF download from White House Stitchery. Haven't got plans to stitch this at the minute, but yeah, just love the colours. I think I'll probably stick to the Call for DMC. Not sure what fabric it's on. It's just like a computer generated image, so I think that leaves it sort of quite open. Yeah, there's not a call for fabric, so I'll choose that closer to the time. My one that I'm thinking about starting for my birthday, which is early February, but I think I'm going to stitch this, which is Fab Riley Designs on Etsy, and it's the owl hoop. And I saw this on Instagram, and someone had used this is not gold, I already bought this before Christmas, but the Petite Point Zweigart fabric, and that's a 32 count, so I might stitch on that. I love this fabric but wasn't sure what to put on it, and when I saw that I was like, yeah. So I need to get that kitted up, because it's got beads and things in as well. It's got a couple of sequins as well. And a couple of special stitches as well. So yeah, Mill Hill beads. and a sequin. I think they're just like white sequins. Like I say, I haven't kitted that up yet, and they've done theirs on a 28 count cashel linen in platinum, or they suggest country mocha. But I think this is a 32 count, this one. As you can tell, I got it from Lakeside. I can't remember what the other fabric is that's in there, but it's just a nice neutral again. And really finally, I was watching Mommalovesyougb and While Sarah Snaps, and decided that yes, G is for gingerbread man. I'd like to stitch this up. I'm not sure when yet. I've not ordered any fabric or floss, or had a look at my stash for the fabric, but I have just ordered the enamel buttons. I say button, it's like charm from eBay. It's not arrived. They've not arrived yet, so I can't show you. But yeah, looking forward to that. So there's 4 in our house, so 4 gingerbread men. I did toy with the idea of making the two that meant to represent the children, and then I just got some other bits and pieces from Lakeside when I put my order in, just trying to get that free delivery. So I bought some white beads for a couple of projects. And I also thought I'd try the thread, not used that before. And then yeah, I got some other weeks that I didn't have, just to try out for some of the threads. So I've got moss, monkey grass, which is actually, I think that's in Merry Needleworker. I showed that on my last video. Bullfrog, and then blue spruce. So yeah, very much on the greens, because I wasn't sure which green would go best, and sometimes it's difficult to tell from a picture what it's going to look like. So I picked up a few. Like I say, this was for the meditation garden, so I might, as I say, I might still change some of the colours that I've picked out for that. We'll see when we get there. So that's it for today. Like I say, I'm not sure if my next video will be, it'll be sometime in February. Not sure it'll be the first or the second week, but plan to sort of record on the Fridays with the aim of getting it uploaded for the Saturday morning, but we'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining, and I want to say a big thank you to Sewmesarah for shouting me out on her channel. I know we've had a few conversations backwards and forwards. Yeah, absolutely love the what remains, and you'll see it in this video too. Thank you everyone that subscribed and liked my previous video. Sorry it was a bit dark, I'm having funny lighting again today, so I'm half in shadow. So this is my goodbye. Thank you all for joining me, and see you next time. Thank you, bye.